How would you feel if you discovered that your spiritual leader is leading you not to enlightenment, but to destruction? I'm here to tell you that false prophets aren't just misleading you. They are stealing your soul, your money, and even your life. Time is running out to protect yourself. False prophets are predators in spiritual clothing. They're not just charismatic leaders, they are master manipulators who prey on your deepest fears, hopes, and beliefs. What's even more horrifying is the lengths to which they'll go to keep their deception a secret. These predators use terrifying tactics that range from psychological manipulation to cult-like behavior. They'll exploit your faith, turn you against your loved ones, and do whatever it takes to maintain their control over you. The stories are countless, but let's look at a few cases that show the extreme and dire consequences of following such false prophets. Now that you've seen how dark the world of false prophets can get, let's talk about what it does to you, the follower. Imagine experiencing an emotional apocalypse. Your entire worldview crumbles and your spiritual compass is shattered. Then there's the financial ruin. We're not just talking about empty pockets here. We're talking about shattered lives, homes sold, and savings emptied. The kind of ruin that takes years to rebuild, if it can be rebuilt at all. And let's not forget the crisis of faith. Ever heard of losing your soul? This is exactly how it happens. You place your trust, your faith, and your life into the hands of a false prophet and end up spiritually bankrupt. And the worst part? You won't realize you're alone until it's too late. These false prophets often use tactics to isolate you from your friends and family. Imagine looking around and finding that everyone who once stood by you has now vanished. What about your mental health? We've spoken about the emotional toll, but the mental scars can last a lifetime. You might find yourself plagued by anxiety, depression, or even suicidal thoughts. Every decision you make becomes clouded by the toxic teachings you've absorbed, making a normal life seem unreachable. Next, let's consider the irreversible damage to your relationships. Because you've been led to isolate yourself, the bridges with friends and family aren't just burned, they're obliterated. Even if you wake up to the deception, those relationships might be forever ruined, leaving you to pick up the pieces of a life that once was. And we can't overlook the societal implications. By supporting a false prophet, you're not only endangering yourself, but also contributing to a larger system of deceit and manipulation. These false prophets often have political or social agendas that can propagate discrimination, hate, or even incite violence. Your blind faith doesn't just affect you, it sends ripples through the fabric of society, causing untold harm to innocent lives. Your survival, both spiritual and literal, depends on your ability to think critically. Question everything. Scrutinize every teaching, every prophecy, every miracle. If something feels off, it probably is. Community feedback is your alarm bell. Listen to your family, your friends, or anyone who's expressing concern. Ignoring these warnings might as well be like walking off a cliff blindfolded. And then there are red flags, immediate, urgent signs that you need to get out. Requests for large sums of money, attempts to isolate you from loved ones, teachings that contradict fundamental ethical or religious tenets. These are your emergency exits. Miss them, and you're locking yourself in a burning building. Remember, false prophets are incredibly skilled at what they do. They may present themselves as agents of light, providing seemingly irrefutable evidence of their divine connection. This is when skepticism isn't just smart, it's a survival tool. Be wary of so-called miracles or signs that are used to justify their authority. Also, be aware of the escalation. It often starts small, a minor doctrine that seems slightly off, a small donation for a noble cause, a subtle distancing from family and friends. These are breadcrumbs leading you down a perilous path. If you notice the stakes getting higher, more money, more isolation, more radical beliefs, it's a glaring sign that you are in danger. Don't underestimate the power of your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, it usually isn't. Your gut feeling is your internal alarm system, honed by millennia of evolution. Ignore it, and you risk becoming a statistic, another soul lost to the corrosive influence of a false prophet. So what if you're already caught in the web of a false prophet? First, recognize that you're drowning. Awareness is the first step to salvation. Your next step is to establish an emergency support system. Reach out to those you've distanced. It's hard, but it's your 911 for spiritual deception. Sometimes the only way out is to blow the whistle. If you've experienced or witnessed unlawful activities, it's not just your right, but your duty to report them. It's a loud and drastic step, but it might be the only way to free yourself and others. After you've managed to distance yourself, you'll need a spiritual detox, a cleansing process for your soul that's been poisoned by deceit. Seek genuine spiritual guidance, immerse yourself in authentic teachings, and rebuild your shattered faith. Your spiritual detox isn't just a one-time event. Consider it an ongoing journey. It's a relentless pursuit to re-educate yourself, unlearning the false teachings you've been subjected to. While it might be tempting to entirely abandon spirituality or religion due to your traumatic experience, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Authentic spiritual teachings exist and can be a great source of healing. Part of this long-term spiritual recovery involves community, but tread carefully. After experiencing such betrayal, it's easy to swing to the other extreme and become overly skeptical of any spiritual or religious group. However, a balanced and supportive community can be a sanctuary for your wounded soul. Look for transparent organizations that encourage questions and foster individual growth, rather than demand blind obedience. Finally, don't underestimate the importance of professional help during your spiritual detox. Emotional and psychological wounds often require expert guidance to heal fully. Therapy or counseling can offer invaluable perspectives and coping strategies. Some professionals even specialize in religious trauma and can guide you in rebuilding a healthy spiritual life. We've gone down the rabbit hole, exposed the darkest corners of false prophecy, and emerged on the other side. Now, the burden of action is on you. If you ignore this dire warning, you're choosing a path that could lead to your own undoing. Don't wait another second. Act now before it's too late. If you or someone you know has a story about overcoming the clutches of a false prophet, we need to hear it. Your experience could be the beacon that guides someone else out of darkness. Please, share your stories in the comments below, or reach out to us directly. Let's build a community that guards against deception and fosters true spiritual growth. And if this video struck a chord with you, if you think this message is critical, then please hit that like button. The more likes this video gets, the more people we can reach, and who knows, your single click could save someone from a lifetime of deceit. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. Click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future content. We'll continue delving into topics that not only enlighten, but empower you to lead a safer, more authentic life. Remember, the first step to protecting your soul is knowledge. Don't let this be your last stop in acquiring it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay vigilant.